It's easier to say nothing and blend in. But I need to speak up for what I know is right. I have a voice. I can lead the way. I will be a light in my community.
Good afternoon to St. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report for Monday, August the 10th, brought to you by KC Securities. I'm Chris Oldcorn, and we are waiting right now for Doug Ford's press conference. Today he'll be with Christine Elliott, who's the Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, and also the Solicitor General, Sylvia Jones, and they're going to be making an announcement. But first, we're going to go over to Weather Daniel for the weather. What's going on, buddy?
Thank you very much, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's enjoyed the weekend. I know it was a little bit off on Saturday, and Sunday was the warmer day, but you know what, we made it through, and hopefully you enjoyed what you had on the weekend. So what we're looking at right now here on the radar, this system here, and you can kind of see it on your screen, it's like a horseshoe. That's coming very shortly over top of us here this afternoon, in the early afternoon, and and there's a big storm cell here, which is coming over Minnesota. We have some potential for some very strong thunderstorms this afternoon and into the evening. So do monitor that, which could whip up some winds and some crazy weather as they move through. So we're tracking those, and as you can see on the screen there, they are aiming right for our region. So do watch for that. Otherwise, there will be some sun and some clouds, very humid. So we do have that potential for some strong thunderstorms given the circumstances with the temperatures we have today. And so your expected highs for the region today are 27 in Thunder Bay, 20 in Wawa, which is the cool spot as usual, 28 in Timmins, 27 here in Sault Ste. Marie, 26 in Elliott Lake, and 29 in Sudbury. Your expected lows, 17 in Thunder Bay, I like this one, 14 in Wawa, 15 in Timmins, 16 in Sault Ste. Marie, 17 in Elliott Lake, and 18 in Sudbury. Look at that, all in order. All right, so your expected, your 3-day outlook here for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, pretty simple. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Sun. 27 degrees on Tuesday and 17 is your low, 28 and then 29. So again, we're trending upward for a few days as that high pressure moves in behind this system that we're having today. And then on the weekend, we'll see some clouds move back in a little bit. Temperatures are still up there near the high 20s, 27, 28. And then Sunday, we're going to see a chance of a shower. That's why I've got that up there right now. And then on Monday, we're dropping back down to seasonal, 23 degrees. And your overnight lows are between 16 and 18. So we're around our seasonal mark there and where we should be for this time of year. All right, this is the Weather Watcher photo. Was a foggy day on Sunday morning as well. So if you did happen to be out and about, certain areas was very thick fog. This was off the lake, Trout Lake, and beautiful shot as the fog is rising, and the sun will eventually did burn that off. So if you have any videos or photos to send in to me, ontvweather@gmail.com. Make sure it's weather related, of course. And we will get it up on our Weather Watcher segment. Include your name and location so I know where it's from, because like I said, we have people viewing from all over the place. All right, so that is your outlook for the next 3 and 7 days. I'm going to send it back over to you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Weather Daniel, for that forecast. At least it's looking good over the next few days. Okay, so we got the new numbers for COVID-19 that just came out. Unfortunately, after 7 straight days with less than 100 cases, today we popped up to 115 new cases. That was up from just 79 the day before. This means our rolling 5-day average sits now at about 89 new cases per day, which is still well below 100, which is fantastic. 16 of our 34 public health units recorded absolutely no new cases, including Algoma District, and 28 of the 34 reporting 5 cases or fewer. Our testing went down a bit. We only tested 22,000 in the last 24 hours. That's down from 28 the day before. But now we actually have less than 1,000 active cases in Ontario with 994 active cases. And of the new cases, we pop back up to over 60% of them are in people under the age of 40. That's a trend we've been seeing now for going on almost 3 weeks. And the highest number of new infections were in Ottawa, Peel, and Toronto. Now, earlier today, the Ontario government announced that Windsor, Essex, which is the last place that was in stage 2, is now going to be able to move to stage 3 shortly. On Wednesday, so in 2 days, Windsor, Essex will be in stage 3 along with the rest of the province. And then also there was no new deaths reported today in COVID-19 and no new outbreaks in long-term care homes as well. And this brings our total cases in the province to 40,161. And as we talked about this morning, in the US, the new cases are 54,000 per day. And we only had basically just over 40,160 cases in Ontario in total since the beginning of the pandemic. Now, the Liberals, this we thing just is not going away. We talked a little bit about some of the polls that show the Liberals have dipped back down. Now, the Conservatives and Liberals are not equal on the polls yet. The Liberals are still up a couple points, but it's definitely hit Trudeau's popularity. But now, as the investigations into the WE controversy continue, the federal government handed over thousands of pages of documents about the WE controversy to the House of Commons Committee. The lawyers are now going through it, vetting it for personal information and anything that's considered a cabinet secret. That's what they redact certain parts of the document if any of that information's in there. However, the federal student volunteer program ended up not happening because of this whole WE controversy. If you remember, this the actual full amount was over $900 million. The WE charity was getting about $43 million of that $900 million to pay for the administration of doing that program. However, the Trudeau family, both his wife, his mother, and his brother have all been involved in paid speaker fees and received other gifts in kind from the WE charity. So there was a bit of a conflict of interest there, obviously. But they've turned over 5,000 pages, and eventually that committee will get that information once the lawyers have gone through it. But we're going to hit a commercial break, and we will be back in 2 minutes. Hold tight.
Even though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health supports more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know asking for help for yourself and others can be hard.
But there are people in your community who are ready to support you.
No matter your age, gender, sexual identity, race, or culture.
No matter the day, time, or issue.
We're here to help.
And welcome back to Special Report Afternoon Edition. We're waiting for Doug Ford's press conference. He's going to be joined with Christine Elliott, who is the Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, and also Solicitor General Celia Jones, who is going to be there as well for the announcement, and we are waiting for them. In the meantime, just about an hour ago, there was a major explosion in Baltimore. You're going to see a photo up on your screen there about it. 3 houses exploded. It has something to do with a gas explosion. There's not many details so far. What we do know is one person was found dead, and there's one person trapped that they know is still alive. That person hasn't been rescued yet. They're trying to figure out how to get that person out. But it completely blew up 3 homes there in a row, and damaged obviously the ones surrounding it as well. So we'll possibly have more information for you on that tomorrow morning on Special Report at 8 a.m. And also, over the weekend, there's been some interesting photos going around on a certain individual who had their laptop bag stolen by a boar. Yeah, it's exactly like it sounds. And unfortunately, this man was also a nudist, and he decided to chase after his laptop case with the boar who took it, and you're going to see that on your screen now. Yep, that's a great view. And so we don't know if he actually ever got his laptop bag back, or if he just scared a lot of people running around naked in the park. But as you can see there, the boar's having some fun with the guy trying to catch and get his laptop bag back. But anyways, unfortunately for that guy, that picture has been going around the internet all weekend, and he's become a little bit of an internet sensation. But speaking of internet sensations, we are waiting still for Doug Ford to show up here at the podium. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to cut over to that now, and we will wait for Doug Ford. Here we go.
Well, good afternoon. We are continuing to make steady progress. For 7 straight days last week, we've had less than 100 daily new cases of COVID-19 across Ontario. 30 out of 34 regions are reporting less than 5 new cases a day. And after consultation with the Chief Medical Officer of Health, I'm pleased to announce Windsor Essex will enter Stage 3 this Wednesday at 12:01 a.m. And thank you to Mayor Dilkins, McDonald, and Santos. I also want to thank the local public health unit, the farmers, the workers, and especially the people of Windsor Essex. I'm so happy for them. I really am. Can't wait to see you on Thursday as well. Thank you for listening to the public health advice and ensuring more businesses can open and more people can go back to work. As all of Ontario now moves into Stage 3, let's continue to stay on our guard against COVID-19. Practice physical distancing, wear a mask when required, wash your hands frequently, and don't forget to download the COVID Alert app. Last week's job numbers showed we're making steady progress on the road to recovery. As we reopen more businesses and community spaces, we must all work together to remove the barriers that get in the way of people succeeding, of businesses succeeding, and communities succeeding. It starts with adapting workplaces to public health measures, protecting ourselves with masks and physical distancing, addressing inequality in our school system, and protecting our communities and cracking down on crime. It's absolutely critical that our brave men and women in uniform have the tools and the resources they need to do their job and keep us safe. Last summer, when some neighborhoods saw episodes of senseless violence, Toronto Police made an urgent request. They asked us for more resources to expand closed-circuit televisions or CCTV camera coverage to catch criminals in the act and keep guns and gangs off our streets. And we answered the call. Our government invested $3 million over 3 years to help double the number of CCTV cameras in areas experiencing surges in gun violence. This was in addition to the $25 million we're providing over 4 years to help fight gun and gang violence in Toronto and crack down on bail offenders. And earlier this year, I was pleased to join Mayor Brown and Mayor Crombie to announce $20 million to fight guns and gangs in Peel Region. And these investments are being put to good use. Police services across Ontario are using these investments effectively to disrupt gang activity and get illegal guns off the city streets. Because that's what happens when you invest in our men and women in uniform. You get results. And we wanted to do more. We wanted to make sure any police service in Ontario who needed the extra tools and resources to fight crime in their communities could have access to them. That's why I'm pleased to announce today our government is investing $6 million over 3 years for new CCTV grant program. Any police services in Ontario will be able to apply. This is an important tool in the fight against the gun and gang violence, human trafficking, and sexual violence. We will bring violent criminals to justice. We will keep our streets safe, and we will give our police everything they need to make sure every community and every business across the province can rebuild after this period of uncertainty, free of fear and full of potential. Thank you, and God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'll hand it over to Minister Jones.
Thank you, Premier. Ensuring the safety and well-being of Ontarians is one of our government's most important responsibilities. That is why we are partnering with police services across Ontario to expand the coverage of closed-circuit television systems that help protect communities from criminal threats. This investment of $6 million over 3 years will be made available through the Ontario CCTV Grant, a new program designed to support municipalities and police surveillance capabilities. This is the latest part of our government's comprehensive, province-wide guns, gangs, and violence reduction strategy, which is helping to protect communities across Ontario. Our frontline police, the heroes we rely on to bring criminals to justice, tell us that CCTV technology works and is one of the best tools we have to gain a critical advantage over criminal organizations. Gang members are less likely to commit a crime if they are at greater risk of being caught. And video footage of crimes committed will help with investigations, identify suspects, and support prosecutions to keep criminals off our streets. Today's CCTV systems have also evolved to include features such as advanced night vision capabilities and 360-degree fields of view. These are important modern-day police capabilities, and it is a priority for our government to ensure Ontario Police Services can count on these features. Ontarians and our partners in public safety called on our government to do more to combat gun, crime, and gang activity in communities across the province. We listened, and we will keep doing so. We are taking the necessary steps to stand up for law-abiding citizens and provide police services with the tools and resources they need to protect Ontarians. Last week, we announced funding for 21 projects between police and community organizations to strengthen public safety at the local level, using money and assets seized from criminals. Our government's message to gang members and violent criminals across this province is clear. We're coming for you, and the violence must end now. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to the phone line for questions. First question, please.
Your first question comes from Katerina Georgieva with CBC Windsor. Please go ahead.
Hi, Katerina.
Hi, Premier. Hi, thanks for taking my question. With Windsor Essex finally moving into Stage 3 this week, what does this decision tell us about the situation in the agri-farm sector? What exactly has changed, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's getting much better. We have more testing, and we have the mobile units going to the farms, and we're testing every day. And I just want to thank the farmers. I want to thank the workers and the mayors, Mayor Santos, Mayor McDonald, and especially the people of Essex. They're incredible people. I absolutely love them, and I can't wait to get back down to Windsor. I know I went to Essex last time. Now I want to see all the folks in Windsor on Thursday. So I'm really excited about going down there and see the people. They're incredible people down there. And I just want to get them back on their feet and help them any way we can.
Follow up.
My second question is just looking ahead to the colder months. Winter is not far away, and this could bring new challenges with kids back in school, limited access to outdoor spaces, forcing people to gather more indoors, which we know is riskier for transmission. So I'm just wondering, is the province making any plans for the colder months to support residents?
Well, I think the Chief Medical Officer has laid that out, and you have a good Chief Medical Officer in Windsor as well. Again, go back to the golden rule. The golden rule, keep your social distancing 2 meters apart, wear face coverings when you can, don't gather in large groups, and that's the recommendation. And so far, everyone's doing so well in Ontario. I think last week we had 7 days straight under 100. And I have the opportunity to talk to a lot of friends in the U.S., and they just can't believe it. It's like we're living on a different planet when I tell them we're under 100 cases with 14.77 million people. They're shocked, and they keep asking how, and I said it's the people. I have nothing to do with this. I always say I play the smallest part. It's the people that all pitched in, followed the protocols and guidelines from the Chief Medical Officers. So it's amazing when we all band together, we're all pulling in the same direction, how we can get things resolved.
Next question.
Thank you. Your next question comes from Robert Benzie with the Toronto Star. Please go ahead.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Premier. This is a question for you and for the Solicitor General. I'm just wondering for your thoughts, both of your thoughts, on this Ontario Human Rights Commission report saying that black people in Toronto are more likely to be arrested, charged, shot, or killed by Toronto police than white people or other racialized groups. Just wonder your thoughts and the Solicitor General's thoughts on this disturbing research.
Well, I think it's so important that we continue working with the black community and helping them any way we can. And that's what our government's doing with Jamil Javani. He's doing a great job reaching out. I reach out to the community always. I go right into the community and talk to them and listen to their concerns. But I'm going to pass this over to the Solicitor General. Thank you.
Thank you. So as you know, the recommendation to the province was very specific about collecting race-based data, and as of January 1st, 2020, we have been doing that. We are compelling police services across Ontario to submit race-based data for any kind of intervention that has use of force included. Thank you.
Follow up.
So so it sounds like you're concerned about this and you're acting on it, but I mean, in the light of all of the protests that we've seen this summer around the world and in Toronto, this suggests that this is a problem that we have to deal with, that governments have to deal with. And do you feel you're doing enough to deal with it? Because some would say that you're not, that police are still unfairly targeting Black people.
Yeah, I'll pass that back to the soldier.
Yeah, so I would say that we're not reacting to the human rights interim report that came out this morning. We have been very active in doing things already. The activity that we do in terms of training our police officers with use of force, with using situation tables, hub tables, to try to bring all of the community agencies and partners together. You know, at the end of the day, when someone calls 911, they need to know that a police officer will show up at their door. But is there an opportunity for other community agencies to do more? Absolutely, which is exactly why our government has made a commitment and invested more in community mental health, because we understand that having up to 40% of police calls into 911 be related to mental health.